Hello, everybody, and welcome to the show. And I'd like to introduce my guest, Frank, from the Let's Be Frank YouTube channel. Frank, it would not be a Katie's Edge stream if I was not clicking the buttons in the wrong order. So, welcome. This is the way it goes around here.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to be here. I enjoy boomer tech, so I'm at the right spot.
A specialty of yours. Perfect. So we're going to be talking about Diddy tonight. And I was on your show on Monday and we talked a little bit about it, but it was just breaking at that time. And also, I didn't know that much about it until we talked, I think maybe about 5 o'clock. It was right when I was getting off of work.
Yeah.
And I did a deep dive real quick to figure out what was happening. So since then, I found out so much more stuff. So I can't wait to tell you about it.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear about it either, because with the breaking story that we did on Monday, this is like part 2.
Yeah, I don't normally cover breaking news. For the most part on my channel, I cover true crime, but I like to cover solved cases because I like the stories to have an end. So I don't usually cover breaking news, but I think there's enough evidence and enough people saying the same thing in this case that it's okay to talk about. I did the same thing with Delphi. I talked about Delphi, even though it's not technically solved yet. There's not been a conviction, so it'll be okay to talk about. But first, I want to give a quick shout out to Overruled, who did my art for me for the thumbnail today.
Yeah, that thumbnail was fire.
I know.
I was a little jelly. I'm not gonna lie.
You and I talk about thumbnails a lot. So
we do so much.
I think that's most of our communication is about thumbnails. But yeah, I was very happy with that thumbnail. And then I'm going to invite up a special guest to talk about something that the three of us have been working on together right now. So say hello to Stephen. Hello, Stephen. How are you?
Hi. Hello.
Hi.
Hey,
Full true crime show.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes. And I know you can't.
Am I in trouble or what?
Yeah. Well, we do need to get that interview once you're off probation, but
right. I'm the guest of honor once once I get off probation. 41 days from today, I will be appearing on your show or whatever. So
nice.
Steven, can I ask you something?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you tired?
Dude. Do I seem tired?
You just finished playing up the end of my stream. I just figured you were a little tired.
Oh, okay. I was wondering, like, well, I am tired. I didn't know that you were kidding, but yeah. I played at the beginning of this stream. It's weird. It's kind of like cloning. I play at the beginning of every one of your prayer streams while I'm actively streaming on my own channel. It's like gene splicing, so yeah.
So the reason I have you both here is because I wanted to let my audience know the three of us have been working behind the scenes on a little collaboration that I'm very excited to share for the first time tonight on my show. And it is a new merch launch. So let's pull this up here. You all know katiesed.com. I shill myself every show, right? So
as you should.
Thank you. Thank you. So katiesed.com. And if we go to we have a new store in here. And the three of us, Stephen and Frank and I, have been working behind the scenes collaborating on this. And this is a collaboration between friends who truly believe in this message, Christ is King. 100% of the proceeds on this collection goes to onemorechild.org. And what they do is they provide Christ-centered services to vulnerable children and struggling families. So all three of us, I know I did a lot of work on this, but the two of you put in a lot of effort as well on the design portion of it. So let's take a look here. We have several options. We were going to do one t-shirt.
Katie gives us so much credit. Yeah, I mean, look, I don't know, man. I do a lot of stuff online, and it's just impossible for me to not try to be like find the humor in things, but she's literally lying to you right now.
I don't lie.
Well, it's like they did so much work. Yeah. I was like, I don't like that font. That's the work I did.
It was the work, like I told the audience the other day when I was on your show. Katie came on my show, and last minute she drops like 6-8 pages of notes. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I know. And with this, we do a little quick design. She's like, oh, by the way, I got like 10 more designs for you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, okay.
I mean,
I wanted everyone to be happy, so I took all of your notes.
I worked so hard at like going about my day, saying I don't like stuff, and like just like doing my thing. Yeah, worked real hard. Yeah, but yeah.
Let's take a look at a couple of the designs. So this first design is a Frank design. Frank does get credit for this one. I don't know about. I don't think I like it in the yellow either, but I do
like it in
that
this color right there. That color is
off-white.
Right
yeah,
there.
I like that. Yeah.
Yep. And then the back of this shirt also. Oh, I clicked out too much.
Yeah, the indigo color on that shirt looks good too, by the way.
And we have my favorite font on this one.
That is my favorite font as well. I love that font.
Every knee will bend, every tongue will confess. On the back of the t-shirt.
It says bow, not but
I can't read.
I'm sorry. I picture in that bright yellow one. I picture me like there's a 747 coming down the runway, a diversity hire, of course. Doing it, and I'm like got the pylons, and I'm like this way, and I'm pointing them to church.
I think maybe you all need to do the reading because.
Every knee will bow, every tongue will confess. And this is Philippians chapter 2, verses 10 and 11. I actually kind of like this shirt as well. The design on the front part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's the larger design on the front.
Mm-hmm.
So we have 2 designs. We have coffee mugs. We have the whole 9. If you use discount code Christ is King 10, you get 10% off until Monday at midnight. I think that's it. You guys want to say anything else about this?
Yeah. I'll say a couple things. You want to go first, Frank, or what?
Yeah, I was just going to say I'm very, very excited about this line that we collaborated with the idea of Christ is King, because I love merch. I like wearing stuff, but I like wearing stuff that actually delivers a message that is impactful. And delivering a message such as Christ is King and a verse to go along with it, I think it can be impactful, and it's a great way to show what you particularly stand for. So, and obviously don't be wearing that if you're going to go and like rob a bank or something. I mean,
no, don't do that.
Go ahead, Steven.
How about just don't
what I'm doing tomorrow. like how you get a spoiler alert. But yeah, I mean, I think this is a fitting time to put this out. There's not that this is really like a political show or whatever, but there's the controversy over saying the words Christ is King, as well as it's Easter tomorrow. And certain, people in the regime want us to stop saying these words. And I think it's very important to proclaim that Christ is King, Christ is Lord, Christ is our Savior. And if he's not, then he should be. So, and also we talked in the DMs over the last day or so about, whether we would keep the proceeds or send them to this pro-life organization. But I like where the money's going to go. And if you're, it's kind of like not the exact same thing, but it's like, if Christ is not your king, he should be. If you're not pro-life, you should be. If you're not anti-abortion, you should be. So I fully endorse this message, and I think it's a good line. The designs are great, but and it's kind of when you're out in public and you see someone rocking some gear that is, maybe controversial, but also bold and just kind of gets to the heart of things. You kind of give them you don't say anything, but you give them the little head nod. So I think this is very bold and
I like the color schemes too.
Yeah.
And as Stephen, I just piggyback a little bit on what Stephen was saying with the boldness of wearing these. It's just coming to the conclusion behind the scenes when we were talking about it. It was literally within 3 messages, we all said, yeah, it's all going to charity. And it wasn't even something about us squabbling about anything. It was like, it's going to charity. That's where it belongs with something
100%.
like this. So
100% to charity.
Yeah. So I'll be ordering 2, at least 2, one for me and my son, because he actually dug the designs, and that's coming from a 16-year-old digging the design. So
that makes me happy.
So the Zoomers like it.
Yeah. Well, the Zoomers,
I did do a little work.
like this little, I don't know what it's called, not retro, but that color scheme is very Zoomer. No, but that's actually Frank is wrong about that though. Frank is just so tall that he has to wear 2 shirts. So that's why that's really what's going on.
I was so surprised. I did not know you were a giant. We met in real life a few months ago, and I'm like, Frank, you look my height on the screen. You're like up here.
Yeah, I never realized I'm a giant until I meet people in IRL. I'm like, oh, I am tall. For the longest time, I kept saying I was like 6'2", but in reality, I'm like 6'4".
Yeah, until you're squashing with them with your mallet and eating their bones and like raising their cities, like burning their cities to the ground. Yeah,
while chanting "Christ is King."
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Or that's how they see us, at least. Yeah, that one. Go back up. That design right there, that color scheme, love it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that looks sharp.
Yeah, that's the one I'm actually ordering for myself.
It looks like we just got 2 more orders, so this is good news, guys.
Cool.
Yeah, that is good news.
So wait, did you announce like the promo code or whatever?
Yeah, Christ is King 10 for 10% off.
Oh, you did? Okay, sorry.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I'm seeing some memberships come in, so you know what that means over here.
Dang, you are a shill.
Yes. So on my channel, anytime anybody donates or does a membership or anything like that, my co-host Zena, get in your spot. Get in your spot. There she goes. My co-host Zena gets to have a treat on air, so we're going to do that right now. Let's add her camera. There she is.
Oh, Zena.
Oh, Zena.
Oh,
so
nice.
yes,
Okay.
Thank you very much, Bandit, for the gift memberships. We're going to give her, it was 5 gift memberships. She gets 5 treats right now. She's going to be fat. She's going to get diabetes. Keep it coming. She loves it. All right, Zena, here you go. That's for Bandit. That one 2.
Oh, good dog.
That one 3. She just gobbling.
Dang, what a fatty.
I know, right? It's like when Steven's at my house with the cheese.
Oh, that's not loving.
All right, Steven, do you go around eating a block of cheese? Just like
it's no, I shred it first, Frank. No, I take the time to shred it and cut it first. Yeah, what are you talking about? So, are we done with the whole merch thing or what? Or
Yep.
is there
You
more?
guys have other stuff to say?
Well, no, I wanted to ask about like what's
P.
the
Diddy
hot
stuff?
take? What's the TLDR on the puffy stuff?
there we go. All right.
Yeah, like what's the
Well, I guess we can
puffy diddler?
The diddler.
the diddler. Yeah. I guess the main thing is, first of all, nobody knows where he is exactly. I saw rumors.
He's back in Miami, isn't he?
I heard rumors, but I didn't know that was for true yet.
Okay.
For true.
For true. Yeah, I heard rumors that he was back in Miami, but we don't know.
True.
We don't know if he actually is. Nobody's actually seen him. That's just his plane is in Miami.
Well, I think they spotted him, but they had umbrellas put up, and then they sent out a bunch of different cars.
Well, they had lookalikes there as well.
Yeah. Yep.
So I mean, I don't know if I believe he's in Miami. Is all I'm saying. They say he's in Miami. I don't know if I believe it or not.
Yeah, Suge Knight, who is one of those music producers, put out a warning to P. Diddy saying that they are going to want to knock him out because of what he knows. So
yeah, and I actually have that video.
Oh,
I had it queued up for the end, but let me see if I can find it.
So we're probably throwing Katie's whole timeline.
That's
of what
fine.
We're gonna Steve and I come in, we just blow it up.
I love the rapper lore stuff. I mean, because I was, I thought that this whole thing was relatively not wholesome. I mean, before I was a Christian, I was definitely into watching certain music videos that had certain things. So not wholesome, but I kind of took it all at face value until about, I don't know, 8 years ago or something like that. But it just goes so deep, and they, Suge Knight is literally like a mafia boss.
Criminal.
I mean, yeah, like that guy is a straight up criminal.
All right, I found it.
Yeah, he was implicated in the Tupac shooting, wasn't he?
Not officially. I mean, a lot of people think he did it, but
Right,
he
yeah.
was never charged or anything like that.
Right. Well, I meant more so that people were theorizing that he had a hand in it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I should have probably said.
Maybe I didn't find it. I don't know if I have it or not. Sorry.
No, you're good. So let's get
I thought
back.
I had it.
Professional live streamer, by the way.
Maybe it's this one.
I wonder if we'll ever like. I feel like we need to pay you, not pay you. Like we need to like throw a party for you once if there's ever a stream where there's no tech issues.
All right, I got it. I got it. Let me put it.
All right.
Let me share this tab. Yes. Oh, shut down the. I had the DMs open. I had to shut down the DMs before.
Shut it down.
Yeah.
I tell you what, Puffy, your life is in danger because you know the secrets. Who's involved in that little secret room you guys participating in? So you know they're gonna get you if they can. It's a little crazy how Puffy get booted out the alcohol business. And Jimmy Iovine steps in with Andre and Snoopy promoting it. It's never a good look when it comes to culture of hip hop and for our community, our people. I turn myself in. Sometimes you gotta face the music. That's most of the time. Puffy, I'm gonna give you some real advice. 2 quick things. You gotta make a decision. When you go to prison, either you're gonna be standing up pissing or squatting, sitting down pissing. I advise you to try to take the first one, because you know if you're squatting, pissing on the seat, you know what that means. Oh yeah, by the way, do not do your time going by Brother Love. Brother Love is not a good code name for prison. I'm out.
You overdid it, Holmes. You in the day.
I did not vet that before I played it, by the way.
Right. You know what's funny about it is that like Suge Knight and Puffy Combs, both of these things are like insinuations of like being gay.
Suge Knight is? How's that?
No, just like the way they say, like he's got some sugar in the tank, like full of sugar. I mean, that's what his original like nickname was sugar. It's based on sugar.
Gotcha.
Like
okay.
And then Puffy, like a poof, is a gay person in England, like so Puff. And it's like both of these guys have names that are play on words, could be insinuated that they're gay. I think all these dudes are gay, man.
Cat Williams seems to believe they are.
Yes.
Cat Williams is gay. I talked about this when I covered this on my show. It's like watch Cat Williams for 5 minutes in any interview and tell me this dude is straight. You're like, come on, bro. All of these guys are gay.
I'll have you know, Cat Williams is my friend. We've met before, so don't say anything bad
They're
about Cat.
all gay, dude. They're all gay. I fully embrace the black athlete / rapper musician conspiracy that level 1 conspiracy is that they put all of these dudes in dresses. Okay.
Yeah.
Level 2 conspiracy is that they want to be. like all these dudes are gay, man. So we'll see.
So I'm just going to go through the step. Well, since you're here just for a little while, Stephen, I'm going to go through the new stuff since and then we'll start at the end and then we'll go back to the beginning.
We'll go backwards.
Yeah. So this is the CEO of Universal Music Group, Lucian Grange, the most powerful man in music, in quotes, was named as an accomplice in the Sean Diddy Combs sex trafficking lawsuits for alleged claims of aiding and abetting and introducing Puffy to run a sex trafficking ring. And then there's some highlighted stuff from the lawsuit naming this guy. I didn't know who this guy was before today, by the way.
Oh, really? Wow.
No. Why would I? I'm not.
He's one of the biggest music executives of all time.
You're a musician though, so I could see why you would know that. I don't care about that sort of stuff, I guess. I don't know. Not that I don't care. It's just like, unless they're in the news or something like that, you know? I don't know. All right. So this one is about Mayor Eric Adams out of New York. Democrats.
Also definitely gay. Like politicians too. Like I just think that like almost every I just think that every black guy's gay, I guess.
You literally have a show with like one of your friends who happens to be black. You don't think?
No, he's not gay. No, middle black guys.
You know,
But
Cyrus
if they're famous and they have that look, like I do fully believe in like physiognomy. I do believe in gay face. I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, Eric Adams gay, Tim Scott gay, Suge Knight. Yeah. Well, also, if you look at a picture of Suge Knight, this dude is only 54, 58, man.
That's
I feel
it?
like he's looked the same since 95, dude.
I always thought he was way older than me.
58, man. He's looked the same since he killed Pac, bro.
Well, that is way older than me. So on
Is
September
it, though?
15th, it's not. Yeah, September 15th, 2023, Democrat Mayor Eric Adams gave Diddy the key to New York, despite being informed about the brewing conflict that Puffy is currently in.
Is that him riding through the city with the key?
Yeah, that's the key to the city.
Hey, yo, New York! New York, we fucking did it! Harlem, we did it, motherfucker, we did it! The Bronx, we fucking did it! Let's go!
I'd like to apologize for the language in this, but I'm going to let it play.
I'm not going to do it right now, but I will have you know that I can rap every word of the song that's being played right now.
Which one is that one? Hypnotize?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
How much do we need to pay you to make that happen?
If pay me, I mean, look, the thought had crossed my mind, but I just don't want to swear. Like it's got a lot of bad language.
Yeah, it does.
So.
Yeah.
I didn't realize how bad the music was that I used to listen to until
Bro,
I go back and look
crazy.
at it now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Once you become a Christian, I mean, I would even say that's like you become a Christian, then you go through like 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
Because when you don't really understand sin that much when you become one, you just know that you're a sinner and Christ is the answer. Whatever, however you want to say it. But after 3 or 4 years, you're just like, man, I compare it to listening to an old voicemail that you left with someone, like where you like listen to your voice and you're like, dude, I sound like that. I'm gonna kill myself. Like, but not
Key
really.
to the city. Yeah. I'm coming to the garden with this shit. And then I'm gonna be in Brooklyn this Sunday. I'm not playing with you, New York. I'm gonna give you this love. It's a love rampage.
This is a guy with problems. Random shirtless guy with a guitar.
Yeah, New York.
You
We
see that?
outside. And tonight we acting bad. It's fucking Friday. The album's out and it's up. Get that album now. We taking that shit to #1. Fuck that, New York. New York, let's go. Hey, yo, New York.
On Steven's stream, he would have rewinded back to the shirtless guy in the guitar, and would have spent about 30 minutes talking about that.
I love the random, random small things, like the way that someone says one word. Yeah, there's just a guy on the street, like with short shorts, shirtless, with a guitar, rhinestones on his guitar. Man, it's.
Real quick, thank you very much, The Claw. I appreciate that. Zena, Mr. Claw likes you. There you go. All right. Thank you. I appreciate you.
Can I ask something before I get out of here? Because I gotta go practice more Easter songs. What do you think is gonna happen with the P. Diddy saga? Both you guys.
I'll go first. I think it's going to end up the same way as so many of these other cases happen, where we've known about this for years and years and years, and then it comes to a culmination and he can't hide from it any longer. And I think he's going to go to jail. I think he's going to be in jail with R. Kelly.
Really?
And if he does go to jail, I really hope he does an OJ reenactment and we can cover it live on air.
Yes, that'd be wonderful. I was hoping it would happen with the plane and somebody get a drone behind it and we could watch like on a radar and just cover it like live coverage.
We really do need. There has not been a white Ford Bronco moment in a very long time.
Yeah,
I think there's probably been a couple since the white Ford Bronco, but I don't know what they are.
I can't think of any.
Yeah, like a true celebrity
running.
There has to be one.
I can't think of any that have since.
I can't think of one before or after. Like that was like,
that's like iconic.
That was iconic. Yeah.
You know where you were on that day? I was in school. We were watching it on TV in social studies.
Dang. You guys are old.
You weren't in school in 1990. When was it? 95?
No, 94. 94, I think. Yeah, I was in high school.
Yo, I'm not. Well, it was on when I got home. It was not showed in school, but I didn't even know who O.J. Simpson was. I thought they were like. I think they were talking about orange juice. I remember like hearing O.J. Simpson and like the I didn't watch football. I didn't like know about black people, thank God. Just kidding. Yeah, I thought it was like orange juice.
Well, I knew him from the Naked Gun series.
Yeah, that's where I knew him from too. I was in high school at the time as well, Frank, and I worked an after-school job at a pizza place that had a TV in it, and I remember being at work watching it.
Yeah, I remember like watching the trial. I don't even think I was watching the white Ford Bronco. I think I just was watching the trial. But there's got to be one where I don't know. I'm going to think about this because I know I can picture in my mind in the last 10 years of them like staking out a famous person's house or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't think nothing is going to happen with Diddy.
Really?
And you know why? Because I think nothing happens anymore. Like I don't think anything's going to happen with Diddy.
I think things have changed since Me Too. I think something will happen. Well, I think something will happen with Diddy because of the Me Too movement.
They locked up Weinstein.
Yeah.
He was a pretty powerful dude in Hollywood. So, I mean,
he was more powerful than Diddy, I think.
Yeah. Certainly was.
Well, this is like with little boys, though. Like, I mean, like it's not really with.
No, it's with women too. It's with like.
Oh, it is.
I mean, everyone. Yeah.
True. Well, I hope that they all go to jail forever, and then anyway, like, but I just don't think that. So anyway, I don't know. Buy the t-shirt, buy the mugs. I love you guys.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll see you a little bit later, Steven. Have a wonderful day tomorrow. And you guys doing a sunrise service?
Yeah, we are. Are you?
Yep.
Yeah.
We'll be up at like 6 a.m.
Cool. Yeah, me too. Yeah, I gotta go finish practice and stuff like that. But I love you guys. Christ is risen, man.
Yes, sir.
Don't forget what Easter is about. It's about Jesus Christ, him being resurrected, and time to celebrate that. Okay.
Yep.
Happy Easter.
All right. See you guys.
Bye. See you, man.
All right.
Yep. It's not about Trans Visibility Day.
All right. Now that he's gone, we can talk about him. No, I'm kidding.
Finally left. I couldn't wait. No, I'm just kidding.
All right. I'm going to go back to the beginning of the notes, Frank. We didn't even start the show yet. We're 40 minutes in and we're just starting. This is great.
Going off just as I imagined. Are we starting at bullet point number 1, or are we starting with?
I didn't want to as the begin. Anyway, you know how I plan stuff out. So whenever Steven is here, it really throws me for a loop because you can't plan stuff out with this guy around. It just is impossible. So on Monday, the 25th of this month, a couple of days ago, 3 of his homes were raided. I thought it was just 2, but apparently he had a house in New York that also was raided. And I didn't even know about it. It wasn't like televised, or maybe that happened the next day or something like that. But all 3 this week were raided. And who knows what was found there? I sure don't. But we have a little video of, oh, my tabs are all messed up. Let's see. There it is. Let's do this one first. Bam.
As Diddy is the subject of a federal human trafficking investigation after several lawsuits were filed against him. 2 of the rapper's homes were raided, but his attorney is accusing the government of being on a, quote, witch hunt.
The raids come after several sexual assault lawsuits were filed against Combs, and federal agents confronted him at a Miami airport on Monday. Another lawsuit filed against Combs is from music producer Rodney Jones, also known as Lil Rod. Jones added sexual assault claims against actor Cuba Gooding Jr. as well. Jr. To the complaint on Monday, that was filed then. As for Combs, the 3-time Grammy winner has not been arrested, but legal experts believe that the feds are building their case against him. And representatives for actor Cuba Gooding Jr. have not responded when asked for a statement.
That's what I should have brought up when Stephen asked what was the new stuff happening. I forgot about Cuba Gooding Jr. being involved in this.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of famous people that have been caught up in this whole thing since the raid has happened. A lot of names have been resurfaced from past allegations and past lawsuits and things like that have happened. And then, of course, we talked on Monday, we talked about his connections with like people like Justin Bieber when he was really young. And then there's connections with him on the Nickelodeon set. And we know about the serial abuser who worked at Nickelodeon at the time. What was his name? It was Dan Schneider. Dan Schneider, who was abusing children there as well. So this goes deep.
Absolutely. So for a while there, nobody knew where he was. I think we still don't exactly know where Diddy is.
During the raid, his Miami home, it was discovered that he had tunnels underneath his house.
Oh yeah, I found that out today.
Yeah,
I think from your video, maybe.
Possibly. Yeah, I did a video about it yesterday. Yeah, there are underwater tunnels that led into a grotto underneath his house.
The tunnels, man.
Yeah, I mean, someone had mentioned that they utilized those tunnels for the Prohibition era, but I don't know how long that house has been there.
Surely, this is his LA home?
No, his Miami home.
Oh, his Miami home. Okay,
it's what was said.
Let's take a look at this news that came out. I guess this is right when everything started happening.
Converging on the home of Sean Diddy Combs.
But officials confirm the raid is tied to a sex trafficking investigation. We have live team coverage. Gina Silva has a closer look at one lawsuit that has allegations of sexual assault and drugging of underage girls. We begin, though, with Chelsea Edwards live from Holmby Hills.
That, I want to pause on that. Drugging of underage girls. We talked about this a little bit on your show, but a lot of times with situations like this, and maybe it's because I'm a bad person, but I always think, well, if it's a quid pro quo, like with the what's the guy you just mentioned, the Hollywood guy, like a lot of these actresses had relations with this guy because they wanted to be in the movies.
Right. Yeah. Harvey Weinstein.
Harvey Weinstein. But in this case, he was drugging these women. Like it's not that it was completely non-consensual. Like it's one thing to have a consensual relationship with somebody that you don't want to because they're powerful and can get you something that you want. And it's a way different thing than going to somebody's house thinking you're going to a party or something like that and then getting drugged and gang raped, you know?
Yeah.
With more on what investigators were looking for tonight. Chelsea.
Christine, one of the many burning questions today is where is he? Where was Sean Diddy Combs while these raids were being carried out at his residences? Now, there is video out there allegedly showing him in Miami this afternoon, but officials haven't yet confirmed whether or not he is in custody or not. As you can see, the street has now been opened into his Holmby Hills home. Investigators wrapped up here a couple of hours ago. 11 was first on the ground.
They got the armored vehicles in the driveway.
And in the sky as heavily armed federal officials descended on Sean Diddy Combs' Holmby Hills mansion.
Now, this was Homeland Security that was leading this.
Yes. Tied to a federal sex trafficking investigation.
I walk up and down here all the time, and I didn't even know this is Mr. Combs' house.
Some neighbors say the heavy response seemed unnecessary.
We're surrounded by $50 million mansions. Like, where's the threat? Like, what's necessary? Like, why you gotta bring all that here?
Skyfox was over.
Because rich people don't commit crimes. What is this guy even talking about? Where is the threat? We're talking about a man who's been drugging and raping, not just raping, having his friends rape also.
Yeah.
Women and boys and children. There was one of the lawsuits that we're going to bring up in a little bit has a 17-year-old involved. And this guy's like, where's the threat? Why all the guns, man? Why all the guns? Well, because there's a criminal living on your street. I'm sorry to let you know.
Well, Alan probably is the same person that voted for Newsom there in California.
Yeah, right.
Overhead as some people were detained and held outside. It's still not clear where the rap mogul was at the time of the raids. His Miami home was also stormed in a similar fashion.
There's an awful lot that's not clear, except Sean Diddy Combs had an awful lot of armed people invading his house in Los Angeles and Miami this afternoon. That could partially be for show. It could partially be a statement.
Variety's executive music editor Jem Aswad has been covering Diddy's legal woes for years, including multiple separate sexual assault allegations.
Pause that go back for a second. Is that a lookalike that's behind him, or is that like a wax guy?
This is Madame Tussauds wax museum.
Okay, I was like, bro, does he have a body double with the person there?
If he does have a body double that looks this much like him, he's doing like this is good.
Sorry.
Assault allegations.
There have been rumors like this for years, for decades, about this kind of behavior from him. I don't know whether they're true or not. You know, yes, he could be an unpleasant person. That is
an unpleasant person. He's calling what he's alleged being unpleasant. It's unpleasant that he traffics women. It's unpleasant.
He wants to still have access to Diddy if he gets an interview, so he doesn't want to say anything that
he absolutely does. Jem Aswad, he definitely wants to if Diddy does not go to prison immediately or gets out on bail or something, he wants to have that first interview.
Widely available on video. A lot of really successful people can be. Innocent until proven guilty, one would hope.
From a legal standpoint, Aswad says Diddy is likely prepared for a showdown.
I would say he has just about the strongest possible legal team representing him, and frankly, he can afford it.
Investigators stayed at the Holmby Hills home throughout the day as media outlets from all over the world gathered and celebrity tour buses continually passed by.
Could you imagine if you get into some sort of trouble and it's like the worst day of your life and you're getting arrested, your home's getting raided, and there's tour buses of tourists with this guy, he's the driver leading the tour, which the commentary over the speaker on that tour bus must have been amazing. But
it had to have been amazing. Had to be amazing. I'm
like,
sure he had all kinds of facts about Sean Diddy Combs.
Like, you don't want anybody to know this is happening. There's news crews, tour buses going by.
Oh man, y'all crazy.
It's always a show. This is America.
Did you just say this is America?
This is America. Absolutely. This is America. We arrest criminals in America and we use SWAT teams to do it. And if you don't like it, there's other places where the cops don't have guns. You're welcome to go hang out.
Now, we have reached out to Diddy's team for comment on these raids. We have yet to hear back.
Katie, have you reached out to Diddy's team for comment yet?
I have not reached out to Diddy's team for comment. Why does it keep putting you big? I'm so sorry it keeps doing that. I don't know. That's not me hitting the wrong buttons. That's Restream doing what Restream does. I don't know what's going on there.
You're like, Katie Zed here from Crimeland. Diddy, where were you during the time of the raids of your houses? Were you on an undisclosed location on the island? Can I get a comment from you?
Well, for some reason, Zena's camera has completely stopped work. Oh, here it is. Okay, let's see if it works. Thank you very much, Erica, for the super chat.
Woo,
you know what time it is. Xena knows what time it is. No, she's asleep, actually. She doesn't know what time it is. Hey, Xena, do you want a treat? Do you want this? Oh, yes, she knows.
Always time for treats.
Let's see if she can catch it. Thank you very much for the super chat. This is for Xena. She just let it hit her in the face. That's how we roll around here. Thank you, Erica. I appreciate
Xena was
that.
like, I was just asleep. You think I'm going to be able to catch it?
Exactly. So what did you think of the people they were interviewing in this were driving me nuts when I watched it the first. I think I even put in the notes, okay, now make fun of the people that they interviewed in this.
They should have spent more time with the tour bus guide driver, because I think he would have given a better interview than the neighbor.
Oh, for sure. That neighbor's like, there's $10 million homes around here. Why do you need all the guns?
I had no idea Sean Diddy lived here. You didn't see the tour bus come through here every day?
Yeah. I imagine if you live in a neighborhood like that. I don't know. Have you ever been to Los Angeles?
I have not.
I used to work a job where I would have to go to Los Angeles like 4 times a year. And my company was in the Westwood area, which is right next to Brentwood, which is where like all the rich people live. There's other rich areas, but I would see tour buses all the time. And I imagine you would know that, okay, somebody famous must live on my street, but I could see not knowing who or care. Like, but me being me, since I worked in the area, whenever we would have a break or something like that at work, I went and gave myself a walking tour of like where OJ Simpson, like his house, and like where the I can't remember the name of the street it's on, but where Nicole was murdered and stuff like that. I was like walking around taking pictures like an idiot. So what are you going to do?
Have you done a crime series on OJ yet?
I haven't. I don't cover those big cases that everyone covers that often.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because everybody's done it. What's my take going to be? Yeah, OJ definitely did it. Like that's my take. I've done it. Like we can clip that. We'll make a short. That's my OJ coverage.
You can use one of Norman McDonald's Saturday Night Lives about OJ doing it.
Yeah, DNA is definitely a thing. So OJ definitely did it. I think the jury either was mad about what had happened with the cops a couple of months earlier. I'm so bad with names.
Mark Furman.
Rodney King stuff.
Oh, Rodney King.
Like they were upset with the Rodney King stuff. And so they let OJ go because of that. And also, I think they weren't able to comprehend DNA, which not their fault. It was 1995. Nobody knew what DNA was until that case.
Yeah.
Like that's the first time I had ever heard the letters DNA together at all. It was during the OJ.
Everyone became an expert after that.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So inside Diddy's home, I'm going to play this on the screen, and I don't think there's any sound with it, so I'm just going to play it and we can do commentary over it. But this is just video from how the feds left his house, and there's a few things that stand out to me in this video. I think you did send me this video, so you must have seen this already as well. But one of the things that stands out to me is you'll see, I think it's in the next scene, teddy bears in this grown man's bedroom. And it's not just one, it's like a lot of like children's toys.
Yeah. And he has a lot of, his kids are adults now, aren't they not?
Yeah. All of his kids are adults. Well, I mean, that I know anyway. Who knows if he's got kids, like little kids. If he does, they're not, publicized, but they show a Bible on his nightstand and they show teddy bears in his bedroom.
Yeah.
So those two things really stuck out to me. And there's, right here, they zoom in on this Bible on his nightstand next to who knows what, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Look at all those shoes, man.
Yeah. That's too many.
That's too many shoes.
Too many shoes.
Too many shoes.
You only need so many.
I have like 5-6 pairs of shoes. I only wear one pair all the time.
I do the same thing. I have lots of shoes. I wear the same pair every day.
Like these are my favorite.
Like I have my my work shoes and my not work shoes. I have a pair of tennis shoes and I have a pair of work shoes, and that's it.
My work shoes are the same as my regular shoes.
Well, and I'm wondering if his house was already messy. Like, look at there's a teddy bear over here. There's one here. There's that other one that we saw. There
He
was
needs
some
to get a new
one.
maid. That's what he needs.
Yeah. Well, they were in handcuffs outside of his house a minute ago. Didn't you see him?
Well,
Well, I'm wondering if his house was already a little messy or if the cops did all of this to his house.
yeah, like just started slinging teddy bears all over. Look how many teddy bears there. You can count right real quick.
Yeah, there's
maybe.
this ice cream cone thing. There's this one here. There's this one here. We saw one at the beginning, and then in the closet there was like 4 or 5 purple teddy bears like
that's
along
like 10.
on the floor.
That's like 10. That's 10 too many for a room of a grown man.
I could see if you had one that maybe your wife gave it to you last Valentine's Day or something like that.
I guess, yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, what do you give to the guy that has everything? Give him their teddy bear? I don't know.
Yeah, normally if that happens at my house, which it doesn't anymore, but it did, where either Dave would get me a teddy bear or I would get him one just because it's Valentine's Day and we got sucked into that whole thing.
Yeah.
But we would give them to the dogs and they would be torn apart in like 2 days and then we threw them away. So, but you see this stuff like piled. It seems to me like this sort of mess is just how they lived. Like the open drawers and the open cabinets and stuff, it probably wasn't like that. But the stacks of shoes and stuff like that were obviously probably already there, you know?
You think so?
I think so. Like they didn't pull the shoes out of the closet.
Dude, he got lots of safes.
Yeah. I mean, we have lots of safes, but for probably other reasons.
Well, he probably have them for the same reasons.
Oh, maybe the same reasons. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he likes guns.
Yeah.
I mean, who doesn't though?
So here's another thing that disturbed me. See this blanket right here?
Yeah.
I own that exact
that
same blanket.
Is it a blanket or is it like a shirt, like a flannel?
It's a blanket. I have the exact same one. It's from Amazon.
The claw said, nope, they searched those shoes. They searched mine.
Really? So they searched the shoes. Oh, I guess you could put like a thumb drive or something in there, huh?
Good. You could put all kinds of stuff in shoes. That's where, when you go to the beach, if you ever want to like take people's stuff, just look at their shoe. That's
really
your wallet and cell phone will be located.
Huh.
I mean, where else do you put your stuff when you go to the beach and you take your shoes off and you want to go run in the water? You put
guess.
it in your shoe.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to go back just very quickly.
Don't put your stuff in your shoes when you go to the beach. Put it somewhere else.
Why are you big again? Sorry. I'm going to go through these allegations just more quickly than we did on your show. So in 1990, according to a November 2023 lawsuit, Combs and R&B singer Aaron Hall allegedly sexually assaulted an unnamed victim. I guess I can do this. I'm getting my act together here.
There we go.
It's happening.
Only 50 minutes into the stream and we're finally getting together.
Maybe. If I can get this back in front of me. An unnamed victim and a friend after a music industry event then beat her several days later when confronted. And so I found this Rolling Stone article that was written in, this is a new article. I have several pulled up that are old. I found if I wanted to pull archived articles, I could just type in Puffy instead of Diddy, and it would automatically pull the old articles for me because that's what I went by back then. Yeah. In 1991, according to, I read that already. So in 1996, Combs is found guilty of criminal mischief, which is the cutest of all crimes, for threatening a photographer from the New York Post with a gun. So you're right. He does like the guns.
He does. Most rappers do.
Yeah. In 1999, he's arrested and charged with 2
Even
felonies.
The gay ones.
All of them. 2 felonies, 2nd-degree assault and criminal mischief. And I clicked the wrong button again and my notes disappeared.
Excuse me.
For beating of record executive Steve Stout, who says Combs and 2 bodyguards beat him with their fists, a telephone, champagne bottle, and a chair. We talked about this on your show. What
We
kind
did.
of chair was it? Was it like a pro wrestling chair that like was the collapse?
Yeah. Was it a wooden chair? You know, the hotel chairs.
You just don't know. You just don't know.
Then in 99, December 27, 99, Combs, along with then girlfriend Jennifer Lopez, I forgot they dated. Jennifer Lopez and Combs and rapper Shane were arrested in relation to a shooting at a club in New York. Combs is charged for weapons violations, but is ultimately acquitted.
Mm-hmm. I'm so behind on the tabs. There
Then in 2001, March of 2001, in a lawsuit, local TV host Roger Mills sues Combs, accusing him of assault, false imprisonment, destruction of property, intentional infliction of emotional distress, and civil conspiracy in an exchange where Combs' entourage roughed him up and destroyed his camera. A jury finds favor of Combs in 2004.
And in 2000... Okay, so here's the one. In 2003, according to this lawsuit that just came out, Combs, his former Bad Boy record president Harv Pierre, and a third unidentified man allegedly gang raped a 17-year-old victim at a Manhattan recording studio. And that's the one that I think a lot of people are talking about. I have the lawsuit here,
Okay.
and it goes into detail. I read this whole lawsuit today, and it goes into detail about what happened to this woman. She was kept there for several days, and he had not all of his, but a bunch of his cohorts and people that he, like his entourage,
Yeah.
with a 17-year-old girl. Horrible stuff. And I have this pulled up. This is him toasting this Harv Pierre guy that I have pulled up here. So they were very close friends, and they obviously were cohorts in a lot of these crimes that we're talking about tonight.
Mm-hmm.
We have something to celebrate, something. I've had a cat that's been down with me for 20 years, and we put out the press release today, that he has become president. It's my man, and I think we should toast his black excellence. He goes by the name of Harv Pierre. Hold on. It's very important to say this, though. Not as only he been made the president, he's also got an equity stake in Bad Boy. Yeah, he's rolled for a long time, and he also has his own production deal on Bad Boy. And I just want to tell him thank you for all of the support over the years. Thank you for working hard. I love you like a brother. I'm proud of you. The president, Harv. The president, baby. Let's get another round of these ditties going out to everybody. It's going to get everybody in the right mood. Trust me. If you want to know what a ditty is, it's Ciroc and Simply Lemonade. Try that this weekend and tell your friends. Trust me, okay? Trust me, Ciroc.
He's selling his product right now in the middle of the toast, by the way. That is totally something I would do. By the way, go to katiez.com and get your Christ is King t-shirt right now.
That's right.
And Strictly Lemonade. Make some noise one more time for Harv Pierre, y'all. Great guy. Great guy. Great guy. All right, you ready, y'all? Mr. President! Bob told me to keep it short, so I'm going to keep it short.
So the guy speaking now is the guy that's named in this lawsuit. This is why I wanted to play this whole thing, just so you guys can get kind of a feel for the atmosphere of what's going on in this life. I don't have any familiarity with this sort of lifestyle, but I think this 3-minute clip kind of gives you an idea of everyday occurrences. They would have these parties, and these women and young men would just they'd be so excited to get invited or to be able to go to one of these events, and then their lives would change forever.
Mm-hmm.
For one, I'd like to thank everybody for coming out. I just hope we have a great event tonight, which I know we will. Short time putting it together, but we did our best, and it's going to be an incredible night. I'd like to thank Shanti and E. Nix. And just on the business side, I'd like to thank Sean Combs. He's been my mentor for the last 20 years. Even though I'm a little older than him, I always treated him and looked at him like my boss, and he's the illest boss ever. As I've been working all my career and all my life, I've been making history every day, and the reason that I do that is because I'm dealing with a man that's making history every day. He's an icon. I've been privileged to work with him all my years. He's never isolated me from any type of information or anything. He's always nurtured it, cultured it. As we move on, we're going to grow our relationship even stronger and stronger, because our relationship is a serious business thing where we don't get to really spend personal time together, or like he told me a couple months ago, he never gets to chill at my crib or whatever it is, because we're always working. That's the reality of the business. It's a lonely business. He told me that 20 years ago, and the lonely are really the most successful people, because they're the people always working. Big shout out to my family that's not here, my daughter and my wife and everything. Bad Boy, I love y'all. Kevin Lyles, Julie Greenwald, Leo Cohen, Mike Kaiser, Azim, my whole Bad Boy staff from Gwen Niles to D. Ferg to Henrock to Sean Perez to Mel.
Listen to all these names. All of these people your lawsuits are coming soon, by the way. Everybody he's mentioning right now, your lawsuits are coming.
Smith, who's not here, Vashta, the whole crew, Maryland. Everybody from the hood, my cousin June Balloon, Cash Money Records, my artist Marina, first artist on Crazy Joint.
All right, I've heard enough of this guy. I've heard enough of this guy. So this is so that was the guy who's named in this lawsuit, naming the 17-year-old. Jane Doe alleges that in 2003, when she was 17 years old, she met Pierre and the third assailant in a lounge in Detroit, Michigan area. Excuse me. Pierre was at one point the president of Bad Boy Music, media and entertainment company founded and owned by Combs.
He had his technicals and like everything.
Pierre directed Doe to accompany him, the third assailant, and another unnamed individual to the airport to take a private jet to meet Combs. So the 17-year-old is in Detroit, and these people say, come on our private plane. We're going to take care of you. You're going to go meet Puffy. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
After Doe arrived, Combs, Pierre, and a third assailant plied her with drugs and alcohol. Combs directed Doe to accompany him to the bathroom where she was gang raped by all three men. So that's in this lawsuit here involving those people that you just saw on your screen. That's why homes are getting raided. That's what's happening.
As they should be being raided.
Absolutely. So that's the 17-year-old. And the other big lawsuit is this Cassie Ventura. And Cassie, she actually dated Combs, but she alleges that this all started in about 2006, and she says that that's when the physical, psychological, and emotional abuse began. She claims Combs forced her to purchase and take illegal drugs like cocaine, ketamine, and ecstasy. And I did find out ketamine is like a downer.
Okay.
Because you asked me on your show, I'm like, I'm
did.
not sure. I've never tried ketamine. But it is used as a date rape drug. I did know that, but it is a downer. He filmed her and forced her to participate in sex with male sex workers in multiple cities for his own voyeuristic pleasure. He called them freak-offs. And I have a short clip.
That's what Suge Knight mentioned in that video that we watched earlier, where he talked about his freak-offs or whatever.
He did mention it. So it's in this lawsuit, and we have Suge Knight mentioning it from a prison phone call.
Right.
It's just crazy.
We have breaking news now involving Sean Diddy Combs and his ex-girlfriend, the singer Cassie. Representatives on both camps and Cassie, whose real name is Cassandra Ventura, are saying tonight that the two have settled the lawsuit she filed against the mogul yesterday in Manhattan federal court. Ventura accused him of rape and years of physical and emotional abuse. There are no further details yet tonight about the terms of the settlement. We have breaking.
You're muted, Katie.
It happens at least once a stream. This keeps happening in all of these lawsuits. What keeps happening, Frank, is that people, he commits a crime against a specific person. In this case, Cassie Ventura, and he ends up settling it. And this is a pattern since the early 1990s, over and over and over again. He throws money at the problem and the problem goes away. I don't think that's going to happen this time. What do you
I don't think so either. No.
There's no way.
The feds are involved now with all of this. Before, this wasn't like federal stuff that was taking place. But now that this is federally being investigated, his avenues are shrinking much quicker than they were during those other ones. It's not going to be as easy to buy off the victims.
It's not a matter of even buying them off. I don't think he can in this case because there's laws in place that if you are a domestic partner with somebody, you don't have to press charges. You don't have to testify. They can still go after the person every single time. So it's not going to matter if he buys off the, what keeps doing that? It's not going to matter if he throws $500,000 at the witnesses.
Right. It's not going to matter at all because they're going to work to, utilize the laws in place and go after him to the fullest extent of those. And the plea deals isn't going to be anything that's going to be able to get him out of time. It's just, it's not going to be able to get him off of those charges. He's going to serve time.
Absolutely. Well, and it also depends on what they find in his homes. I assume, and this is all speculation. These are all allegations. The name of this stream has allegations in it. None of this is set in stone yet because in the United States of America, people are innocent until proven guilty, right?
Correct.
So take everything I say with a grain of salt because I don't know what I'm talking about. But I assume that they're looking for, in some of these lawsuits, it's saying that he videotaped these things happening to these people to use as blackmail against them.
Yes. Yeah.
So they're looking for those videotapes. They're probably looking for the drugs that's listed, the whatever I just said, the ketamine and cocaine and all of the ecstasy, all of that stuff. So they're looking for the drugs. They're looking for the videotapes. He had, not only did he have regular surveillance cameras, he had hidden cameras as well. So all of that's stored in a database somewhere. I can't imagine he's dumb enough to have it stored in a cloud somewhere. I assume there's hard drives somewhere.
And we speculated a little bit on Monday's show that the reason he was in the air, supposedly running from the feds or while this was taking place, was to possibly get rid of that type of evidence.
I don't know how he could from the air, though.
Well, I mean, transferring them to a different spot.
Yeah, I guess. Oh, yeah.
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 And that was just speculation on our part, or at least my part, where I was just thinking out loud and coming up to conclusions.
Yeah, that definitely could be. So let's play this next video.
And Real Truth Cactus is correct. Some people are dumb enough to store things in the cloud.
Yeah, I guess so. I have this on my show all the time where criminals are so dumb. I covered a guy last week that he went and robbed a bank and then posted pictures on Facebook of himself with all the money wearing the same clothes that he was wearing when he robbed the bank. It's like, if it wasn't for dumb criminals, I wouldn't have a show. Like,
yeah, gotta have those dumb criminals.
Seriously. So this breaks down, this little clip here is going to break down the Cassie Ventura lawsuit a little bit for us.
Filed against Sean Diddy Combs accuses the music performer and executive of rape, physical abuse, and sex trafficking. The singer Cassie says the incidents occurred throughout her 10-year relationship with Combs. Her suit was filed under a law that allows alleged sexual offense victims to file past the statute of limitations.
So I'm going to pause that there and let you tell us about this this New York Adult Survivors Act, because I know you covered it on your show.
Yeah, this act that passed in New York was specifically designed. I know they wouldn't say it, but it was specifically designed to go after Donald Trump.
And they used it for that.
And they did use it for that, for E. Jean Carroll, to go after him and to, basically, tried to drain his bank account as much as they could with, I believe it was $80-some million is what the final judgment came. And I know he's trying to appeal that or whatever, but
that's an insane amount of money.
It is. And they utilize that for that. And this law gives victims a one-time opportunity to go ahead and bring these back into the light and go after these individuals who they had. There was one other case that we found that also took place in there. It was pretty high profile as well, but it wasn't talked about much. That you and I looked at on Monday. I just can't remember.
I don't remember either. Monday was so long ago, Frank.
I know. It seems like a whole year ago that we were talking
launched a whole T-shirt brand since then.
We've been busy.
Yeah.
We've been busy. But yeah, I mean, that was the reason this law was put in place, was to specifically go after Trump. And now some of these other individuals are getting caught up in that now too.
Yeah.
People like Diddy.
And I don't know if I know I said it on your show on Monday, but I don't know if you agree with me or not. But I like this law. I like that victims of sex crimes don't have a statute of limitations to go after people, because a lot of times victims of specifically sexual victims, or sex crime victims, have a hard time even admitting to themselves what happened. It's a psychological thing that I know happens from personal experience, and they should have the same sort of laws in place as they do when children are victims, where they can, like, if you were a victim as a child, you can still go after. The statute of limitations is longer,
right?
Because a lot of times kids don't come forward. So I think for all sex crimes that should be the case. And I do want to point out that this New York Adult Survivors Act is specifically for civil cases. This is not for criminal cases.
Right. So that way they could get closure and possibly some type of
get their therapy paid
retribution back on that. And I don't know, I didn't read all the details of that law, but I would hope there would be some type of mechanism in there where it wouldn't be allowed to be used to maliciously.
Yeah. I think the dollars amounts that's going on here is not right. I think, though, if somebody victimizes you, you should be able to have your
avenue,
your medical bills, including therapy for the rest of your life if you need it, paid for. But that's not, what did you say that number was? $800 million?
No, 80 million, not 800, 80 million. Yeah, still
$80 million.
A staggering amount of money.
Exactly.
Cassie says she wanted to speak out before that law expires next week. Mr. Combs has denied all the allegations. For more, let's bring in entertainment attorney Dante Mills. So, Dante, thanks for being with us. Cassie has signed with that label when she was just 19, and Sean Combs was 37. What's alleged to have happened after that?
Thank you for having me, Catherine. So in this lawsuit, I just wanted to be clear. This is a civil lawsuit. This is not a criminal lawsuit. There's no chance here as we stand for Sean Combs to go to jail. It's a civil lawsuit about money.
Well, there is.
And the claim is that
there is now. This was back then when that civil case, like, just so everyone's clear. Right now, the feds are investigating him because of the allegations from the lawsuit that we're hearing about now.
Relationship, he was physically abusive, that he required or demanded that she perform certain sexual acts with other people while he was there, and that he, in fact, raped her shortly before she left him. She said she did not want to have sexual relations with him, and he forced himself on her. That's the basis of this lawsuit and why it's moving forward. Now, you are right to talk about the fact that this lawsuit was brought in New York, because these things happened years ago. So the statute of limitations is gone most places, but in New York, they had this law where they opened it up for a year and said, if you're a survivor of sexual assault, you have a year to bring your claim, and that expires next week, November 23rd of this year.
Okay, so you've handled several high-profile cases. What would your defense strategy look like?
All right, we don't need to get into his defense strategy.
So
but
the law has the expiration date on it
yeah, a year.
for the law. When the law was instituted, then it had an expiration date, so it was only like a year-long law, correct?
Yeah.
So yeah, so there is the specificity of why it was used, why it was passed, was to go after Trump.
Exactly. So yeah, that's where we're at today. Is all of these allegations came out around November. There was, I think, 5 different lawsuits came out in November, and all alleging that not only Sean Combs, but a lot of his entourage, his people, all took part in these things. And some of it was trafficking women across state lines. So that's why the feds are involved. It happened in several different states. That's also why the Homeland Security is involved.
Right.
And probably other countries, I would assume. They found his plane in Barbuda, was it? Antigua and Barbuda?
Antigua. Yes.
Yeah.
That's where it was.
So after multiple attempts to sever ties with Combs, Ventura said she met him to have dinner. She believed it was to talk of concluding her bad boy contract, have discussions about concluding their relationship for good. But after dinner, Ventura alleged he forced himself into her apartment and forcibly raped her. So she just can't get away from this guy at this point.
No. And this is that whole thing with these people like Diddy, who has money, has this power that they have, that they can just continue to re-victimize these individuals so they can continue to exert their control over them.
Exactly. So I want to get into some of this new stuff that you had sent me on Twitter. You get your news from Twitter, I can tell, because every single
I do. I am consistently always using Twitter. That's where all the news is.
That's where we do most of our communication as well. I mean, we text and email every now and again, but for the most part, it's Twitter DMs. for the most part, yeah. According to iHeart Mindy, Diddy was having underage girls sign NDAs before drugging and sex trafficking them at parties. So he would get them to sign non-disclosure agreements, but joke's on you, Diddy, because non-disclosure agreements are not allowed to include crimes. So he's getting these non-disclosure agreements signed, thinking, oh, I'm off the hook, scot-free. I can do whatever I want to these girls. But it's illegal. It's null and void when you're committing crimes. So that's not going to do anything for him. Let me take this off the screen. It keeps doing that. It keeps doing it. I don't know how to fix that. Prince Harry has been mentioned in a $30 million lawsuit alleging that Sean Diddy Combs of sexual abuse. The lawsuit filed by record producer Little Rod, also a legal name Rodney Jones. I don't think his mom named him Little Rod.
That's a cool name.
Although my mom did not name me Katie, she named me Catherine. So I mean, I could see having a nickname.
Maybe his name was Rodney, and he was like, "Nah, I didn't grow very much. It's gonna be Little Rod."
Little Rod claims
Little Rod.
Diddy's connection to celebrities, including Prince Harry, lent legitimacy to his actions. Now, I want to make it clear that Prince Harry didn't do nothing that I know of yet, but when I find out, I'll let you know. But this was huge news. I remember seeing it on Twitter, and poor Prince Harry's face plastered all over Twitter. And basically, he just went to a party, and he didn't know what was happening in the other room. What the lawsuit is saying is that these parties were star-studded. There was dignitaries from other countries, and Prince Harry is not like his uncle with the Epstein stuff.
Andrew.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like that yet that we know of. So
as of now.
Yeah.
but that won't that will start coming out once this, if this trial ever gets going, if they ended up arresting them, and then there's a process and litigation that all goes along with it. I'm sure all that will be revealed as it will be. And I don't know if it would be a public trial because it's a
federal trial, so probably not.
Probably not. And we're going to miss out on good content if it was.
It definitely will not be televised. I found out recently that feds don't even release mugshots. They have, and they do it at their own will or whatever, but I was looking for somebody's mugshot for a thumbnail for a big interview that I have coming up in 41 days, and it's not out there. It hasn't been released. So, what are you going to do?
Yeah. And they the only thing they release is normally courtroom sketches.
They do courtroom sketches, and they have released mugshots, but it's almost like there's no rhyme or reason to it. I can't figure out why or like what prompts them to do that. It seems like they do it in cases that they want publicized, or they have if the federal government has some sort of ulterior motive for releasing it. I've seen them released, but it's unusual for them to, like, they're not just online. Like most people's mugshots, you can Google and find them if they're at a state or city, mugshot or whatever. Not federal. My next bullet point is about Eric Adams. See, just that beginning of that show just messed me up because now I have like three that we've already gone over.
Yeah, Eric Adams, he's a slimy little individual himself, with all the things that he's caught up with. I remember just a couple of years ago, there was he was embroiled in something that was happening between his daughter and her being arrested for something. I can't remember what it was for, but there's all kinds of corruption that's all within that group of individuals of those powerful people. All these.
Let's get this up here. Here we go. So this says Kanye told us years ago that Puff Daddy was a fed, and just like how Epstein was. Let's hear what Kanye
kidnapped my daughter in public, and I didn't have the address of my child. None of these niggas that want to say something
Travis
now.
gave you the address, though?
Travis gave me the address. Right. But as far as Meek Mills, Puff Daddy, whoever, none of these niggas, all you fake hard niggas, fuck you. Hold on. Okay. All you fake hard niggas, fuck you. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck because you can't shoot nobody anyway. And the reason why you got to talk is because you did a deal, you fucking fed. You know what I'm saying? That's why you got to come at me, because part of the deal for you to be a do all that and get out of jail is that you promise that you're going to go pull my coat card. So y'all niggas shut the fuck up about me. Now let me say it calm. You niggas shut the fuck up about Michael. Right. Kidnap my daughter in public.
Again, I apologize for the language in some of these clips. I did not get them.
These how these rappers talk anyway.
Exactly. There's nothing I can do about the way how there's somebody else talks.
But yeah, I mean, so Kanye accuses Puff Daddy of being a fed. So what do we make with this? If he was a fed and him getting rolled up by the feds, is this a cleanup job? Then is what we start looking at.
It could be, or maybe he's just not a fed and Kanye's a little crazy.
That could be as well. That could
one
be
or
as
the
well.
other. One or the other. I think Kanye might think everybody's a fed. Like anybody who's not like lockstep exactly following his orders, I think he thinks might be a fed. Personally. So Usher recounts being sent to live with Diddy at the age of 13.
For Puffy's flavor camp.
Who sends their 13-year-old boy to live at a grown man's house is my question.
Parents that want to make ka-ching on their kids.
Yeah, exactly. That's gotta be it, right? And we see this over and over again, Frank. The same thing happened with this Nickelodeon thing that just broke.
Yeah, Dan Snyder thing.
Yeah, exactly. It's these parents are willing to let their children be in the care of these grown adults that they don't even know. And this industry, every part of this, every facet of this industry has a record of having, pedophiles. Like, I'm just going to say it, pedophiles.
Yeah.
In Hollywood, in TV, in movies, in the music industry, in every single facet of this industry.
Yeah, somebody put it in the chat. Well, parents sent kids to stay with Michael Jackson as well.
Yeah, it's crazy. And
I'm not sending my preteen kid to go stay at some grown man's house.
They were
That's
having
weird.
sleepovers in his bed.
Yeah, that's weird.
And people are like, "Oh, nothing was going on." I don't care if nothing was going on. You had children sleeping in your bed, dude.
Yeah.
I say dude to a dead guy. You know what I mean.
I know what you mean.
Moved to New York City, and I lived with Sean Puffy Combs for a year.
That's the crazy thing. Now, that was L.A. Reid's idea, right? We're sending you over to something called Puffy Flavor Camp.
There you go.
To learn
Flavor Camp?
Yeah,
Flavor
that's
Camp.
what it was called. And you're going to go to Puff Daddy's. He's going
In the 90s. Do you understand what that's like?
Puffy's place was like just filled with chicks and orgying like nonstop, right?
No, not really. I mean, but hey, it was curious. I got a chance to see some things.
Yeah, but you were 13. What were you
I
seeing?
went there to see the lifestyle.
Right.
And I saw it. And it was but I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking at. It was pretty wild. It was,
So nobody
it was crazy.
tried to, some woman didn't come along.
I didn't say that.
Okay.
I didn't say that. What I did say is that there were very curious things taking place, and I didn't necessarily understand it.
Biggie Smalls was there.
Biggie Smalls was there. Lil' Kim, Craig Mack.
All these people are hanging around.
Yeah, man. Faith Evans.
And your parents
Jodeci,
were
Mary J.
okay?
Blige. They didn't know nothing about this shit.
Oh.
I was having a good time. You know what I mean?
Does he have you doing any chores? Are you doing dishes at all? I mean, to keep you humble somewhat? Or are you just like, can you stay up till 4 a.m. with them and party?
I mean, I could. I actually stayed up longer than them.
And do you have money? What's going on?
I mean, I had like per diem. You know, I had like,
What
like
a
living.
life.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
14 years old. You're a dad now. Would you ever send your kid to Puffy Camp?
No.
Hell no.
See?
Heck no.
Yeah.
Heck
Moved
no.
to
I mean, I just couldn't imagine sending my kid off to, and I went to summer camp when I was a kid, Frank. Nothing happened to me there, but I just couldn't even imagine sending my child off to like YMCA summer camp with the things that I know that happens at places like that.
Yeah, it's just crazy.
It really is. It really is. So, hidden cam. This is we were talking about the hidden cameras.
Yeah, this is Jesse Waters, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hidden cameras are found in every room of Diddy's homes. So, like, you think you can go to the bathroom at P. Diddy's
Probably
house?
not.
Nope. You can't. You can't take a poop at Diddy's house without being recorded.
He's recording you taking
his freak out.
His
freak.
I mean, really, like, there's some places, like, even if I know there's security cameras places, there's some places that I just expect there not to be, but apparently not at Diddy's house.
Nope, not at Diddy's.
Out parties. In attendance were celebrities, politicians, athletes, international dignitaries like British royalty, Prince Harry, and music label executives. Lil Rod claimed some of the biggest names in the recording industry sponsored these parties with sex workers, drugs, and underage girls. The CEO of Universal Music, Lucian.
He said Universal. He pronounces things like you, Frank.
Hey, he made it big time. Maybe I'll make it big time too. Who knows?
Yeah. I think you're already big time, Frank.
Thanks.
Is named as a defendant. So is the former CEO of Motown Records, Ethiopia, Habert Mariam, and others. Lil Rod says hidden cameras were in every room of Diddy's homes. Lil Rod believes that Mr. Combs possesses compromising footage of every person that has attended his freak-off parties and his house parties. Salacious tapes of Hollywood's biggest names, including record CEOs and politicians, doing drugs and cavorting with prostitutes and minors. The complaint argues that these freak-off parties were a business model. Young and up-and-coming talent attended and were promised career opportunities and access to music executives. They were then plied with drugs and alcohol, filmed. Some were blackmailed. There was a quid pro quo, according to the complaint. Lil Rod said not only were these music executives sponsoring these parties, they were handing Diddy large sums of cash that he used to pay for the sex workers and drugs. Something tells me the IRS is going to be interested. The suit.
Yeah, something tells me the IRS is going to be interested. So yeah, that's basically where we're at.
Someone says sounds like the White House.
I mean, it's anywhere that there's power. I've noticed that it's really anywhere that you find somebody in power who thinks they're above the law. So yeah, it's politics too. It really is.
Oh yeah.
It's in all facets. All facets. Sean Diddy Combs' private jet landed in Florida. Did we watch this one earlier, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
Sorry. Some unknown people made me go out of order on my notes.
See, there's a video right there of the umbrellas and stuff being used as shield.
If there were decoys, the umbrellas there have been shielding the entrance to his home. He has stayed out of sight since Homeland Security agents were here on Monday doing that search warrant, doing that raid, and since headlines after that have gone global about a sex trafficking investigation.
Whoa.
The private guards at Two-Star Island spent hours fussing with umbrellas to shield the car. If there were decoys to throw off onlookers there to track Sean Diddy Combs, it worked.
Yeah, I think this is what I saw earlier where I said they had decoys. So I'm not sure if he was actually there or not.
Right.
It wasn't a wax figure this time, though.
Dr. Insomnia says he doesn't think the freak-off parties payouts are tax deductible.
No, probably not.
Even if they were used for business, that's not tax deductible.
Maybe. Oh no, you can write some crazy stuff off on. There's lots of loopholes, Frank.
It was entertainment, right? That's what they would put it under.
Yeah, rich people know about those loopholes.
They do. They end up getting like tax returns back.
Yeah.
Shortly before we learned Combs' private plane had landed at Opa-locka Airport just after 1. Since federal agents served one of 2 search warrants here Monday, a celebrity-soaked narrative exploded into the headlines about a sex trafficking investigation headed by federal prosecutors in New York City. That criminal case may draw witnesses and probably
I'm so glad they had those photos blocked out because I looked at the lawsuits earlier.
caused from the series of
I
civil
got
lawsuits.
worried I was trying to get to the pause button in time and I didn't, and it was blocked out already. So thank goodness.
From prior girlfriends and a producer with stories, photos, and as documented video of underage sex trafficking, drug-fueled sex abuse, intimidation, and violence. Notice the investigators are from Homeland Security, not the FBI. That might indicate the alleged crimes happened not only across the country, but in other countries' jurisdictions too. In the allegations, Combs' Miami base plays a prominent role. An example, this strip club on the Miami River where the producer claims he was sent to hire sex workers to bring to the house. This video shows Combs' LA home in the aftermath of the raid there Monday. At his Star Island address, agents seized Combs' electronics, including a silver MacBook Air.
One MacBook, that's it?
That was it. Maybe that's where he was storing all his videos on. And the clause said Homeland Security, that means the crimes involved foreign actors and entities possibility.
Yeah. Yeah, and I really wouldn't be surprised if there's a tie into Epstein Island with this one.
Yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me at all. There's nothing, that's speculation on my part, everyone. Nobody said that except for me, as far as I know. But it really wouldn't surprise me if he was involved in all of that too.
Mm-hmm.
But I doubt they'll ever release any of the, the list. Like if they trickle out names here and there.
Yeah,
but
if they release the list, that means they have to do something about the names on the list.
Exactly. We were talking about that Nickelodeon guy earlier.
Dan Snyder, yeah.
Yeah. So here's a tie-in here is old video resurfaces of Sean Diddy Combs telling child actors to put helicopter down boys' pants. And I know he didn't write these lines, but still he went along with it. He could have said no.
He most certainly could have said no.
What would Diddy do? No, I don't know. Hey, let's ask him. Oh, okay. P. Diddy,
What's up?
we can't wake up Shane.
You try symbols?
Yep.
What about sour milk?
Didn't work.
Tell you what. Take this toy helicopter. Put it down his pants.
All right, we'll do.
What on earth was that about?
Yeah.
What in the world? So I think I have one more tab I'll share. And this is about Jay-Z. Which when dominoes start to fall, Frank, the dominoes start to fall.
They certainly
So,
do.
Is Jay-Z next? Been backtracking and gathering information on P. Diddy, R. Kelly, Aaliyah, and all these names were somehow connected to Jay-Z. So I did a little research about Jay-Z, and I found what I found was creepier than what Diddy had in store. So let's watch this little video.
I think it's time for us to address the elephant in the room.
R. Kelly was the first corporately sponsored pedophile. Everybody knew.
First of all, he wasn't the first corporately. Like,
Well,
he
maybe-
was one of them.
Maybe she's meaning in the black community.
Maybe.
Once the came out on R. Kelly, Jay-Z fled the scene.
Point was, he knew all the time.
For 20 years, Jay-Z refused to speak out against R. Kelly, but his former partner, Dame Dash, won't stay silent.
Aaliyah is key to everything. Aaliyah and I were very serious.
Didn't
We talked
Aaliyah
about
die?
getting married.
Yes. Yeah, she
In a plane crash.
under
right?
mysterious circumstances. Let's just put it that it was a plane crash, but there's been a lot of conspiracy theories about why that plane went down.
So I know exactly what went on.
She just be like, no, that's a bad man.
R. Kelly did indeed marry his protege, the 15-year-old singer Aaliyah Houghton.
Like Aaliyah was like the sacrificial lamb for all that.
22-year-old rising star Aaliyah has been killed in a horrific plane crash.
It's a pain that you couldn't
You
understand.
gotta keep pausing for a
changed
second.
you, turned you.
Have you ever watched? I know this is a little off topic, but I promise it ties in. Have you ever watched that movie Josie and the Pussycats?
I don't think I have.
Okay, it was a movie that came out in the early 2000s. If
Yeah.
you guys don't know, Josie and the Pussycats was like a comic book series way back in like the 70s. I think it was a cartoon as well. Anyway, they remade the whole thing, and it's actually a pretty entertaining movie. But it's based around the music scene, behind the music and stuff like that. And whenever the artist gets too close to something, they kill him off in a plane crash or a mysterious thing, and it's like they're telling you exactly what they do in the music business in this movie.
And how many plane crashes have killed famous musicians? Like a lot.
A
Like
lot.
Chubby Checker, right?
Yeah,
That was one
Richie
of, like,
Valens,
yeah.
and the Big Bopper.
Mhm.
Yeah, it goes on and on. There's probably every decade at least there's someone that dies in a plane crash.
Yeah, plane crashes and bus crashes, it seems like, in the music
Mhm.
industry. I'm half expecting them to start doing that dance.
I was thinking about that just now.
They're not gonna, but it would be fun if they did.
You into a monster. When Dame was at his lowest, Jay committed the ultimate betrayal.
I had so much trust in my brother, but he did things that I thought he would never do. So what you think I felt all these years?
For 20 years, R. Kelly's power protected him.
At that time, we did not look hard enough.
Remember Aaliyah's album cover?
Age ain't nothing but a number. Sitting back there like perv master.
I mean,
That right there is a sign. Like, aged ain't nothing but a number. And she was what, 15?
He was 15. Yeah, he was grooming her.
Yeah. Total groomer vibes.
Kobe Bryant.
was
Yeah,
mad.
Kobe Bryant died recently in the helicopter.
Yeah.
you know, I ain't have nothing to do with that.
And I bet Kobe was at some of those parties.
I
It
bet.
wouldn't surprise me. Everything I'm saying tonight, like just from the top to the end of this show, is all alleged, by the way. Everything is alleged. I don't nobody's been convicted of anything unless I've said they were convicted of it.
They made a song together called Not Guilty.
But what I'm trying to say is don't sue me. Whoever's watching this and is thinking about don't sue me. I don't have what do you can have Xena. Actually, no, you can't have Xena. You can have Ava. Like, you can sue me, you can have Ava.
Anybody that knows what happened to my girl that with me should not be with homie.
Even as new allegations came out, Jay looked the other way.
Kelly is accused of videotaping himself having sex with an underage girl. Prosecutors maintain the girl in the video was his youngest.
This is the trial. Remember when we were talking on your show on Monday? Like, I don't know, was that 2 years ago Monday? No, it was this
last
past
century.
Monday. Yeah. But I don't even think it was on air. We talk on air and off air, so I never remember what is on air. But I had said that I had remembered the R. Kelly thing from like years and years ago, and it was during this trial, this 2002 trial,
Right. Okay.
where all of the allegations first were coming out. So I remember thinking when the R. Kelly stuff happened again, because I don't really follow. I was never really a fan of R. Kelly, so I didn't really follow it. But I thought that he was already in jail because I remember this happening way back when I worked at Walmart.
Yeah.
Right when I was in college. So I didn't realize that it was all resurfacing again, you know. But yeah, it was this lawsuit, and you can see we were talking about the drawings that they do for court. This is the same thing that's going to happen with this P. Diddy stuff. We're not going to have footage of it, unfortunately. We can't tune into Law and Crime Network and watch it because it's a federal case.
Right.
13 when it was made.
I mean, I wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know that. Like, I know I ain't have nothing to do with it.
All right.
I think it's time for us to...
All right.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm going to expose somebody that we all forget about. Y'all see this picture of Jay-Z with Aaliyah when she was underage?
Oh my goodness. Look at how young she looks there.
Yeah.
It's not even like she was 15 and looked old. She looks younger than 15.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, huh? We only know about Damon Dash messing with Aaliyah and R. Kelly. But that ain't the only one that Jay had when she was underage. Y'all remember Fox Brown and Jay? Ain't no woman like the one I got. No one could love you better. Before that song came out, we used to hear it. I used to tell shit. I was like, whoa. I'm going to expose.
I think there's a couple more.
Sean Carter is worse.
Uh-oh. Oh, man.
He's smarter. He's patient. He's not sloppy.
Risking my own success, my own career. I've been sent here to give y'all the truth. Jay-Z called me, bro. You still ain't called me. Jay-Z called me. Hey, bro, Jay-Z, I know you got killers. Please don't send them at my head. Just call me.
The first time I ever saw Jay-Z or even heard him spit a rhyme was at an MC battle, street battle in New York. He showed up as the nigga that was with Big L. Yes. Big L was who put Jay-Z on. And then Big L died, and then the next thing you know, Jay-Z. Doing songs with Biggie and building a working camaraderie with Honeycombs. And then Biggie died, Tupac died. There was the fight between who was the top rapper now, Nas and Jay-Z. And then the next thing you know, Nas has a nervous breakdown and he's taken out of the game, and it's all Jay-Z. He will slump anyone in any relationship for $1. Look at how he did Dame. If you're a halfway intelligent person, when do you start questioning how lucky some motherfuckers keep getting?
Wow. I want to tell everybody in the world all the things that Big L told me about you when I was fucking him.
So this Big L is associated.
Big L is the one that put Jay-Z on.
Wow.
Jay-Z was the last person to see Big L alive.
Wait, so this Big L person is not living on this earth no more?
No. He's been dead for years.
You know what's crazy is that you see what Jay-Z turned Beyonce into.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And it kind of, it's troubling to me because I used to listen to all this music, Frank.
I did too.
Oh, it did at that time. It didn't make you. I I don't know why Restream is, but it did it right that time. And I had to say it out loud instead of just going with it because that's what I do. But yeah, I think that's about all I have. But I'd love to know what you guys think in the chat and also in the comments down below if you're watching this after the fact. I just thought it just runs so deep. Another thing I found out when researching this is that did you know that Diddy's father was a criminal as well and died in a drug deal? He was a drug dealer.
Wow, no, I did not
And
know that.
he was shot. He was shot, and I don't know if it was drive-by. I know he was shot. I think maybe I just assumed drive-by, but his mom told him his whole life that his dad died in a car accident, but that wasn't the truth. His dad was actually a drug dealer and died dealing drugs. So
Maybe that's where you got the drive-by from when she said that he died in a car accident. You did it word by association.
Yeah, my brain does do that. Brains are funny that way. But it's like generational crime. And it just runs so deep, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, no, this whole thing is going to be in the news for a while, I believe. I don't think this is going to go away anytime soon, and we're going to have to continue to come back and check in on where we currently are. There probably won't be any new developments until the feds move in to either issue an arrest warrant for Sean Diddy, or they decide to go with a different avenue and see who else is connected to all of this as well.
Yeah. So I just want to touch on one more time. We did launch.
Yes, we did.
We did our launch earlier in the show. But you can go to katiez.com. You all know katiez.com. I tell you about it every show, right? katiez.com. You can, of course, get any of my merchandise, the Crime Land merchandise, the Overruled merchandise, the True Crime with Xena merchandise. By the way, look at how good this shirt looks. It did it again. Look at this
I'm the true host of this show.
True Crime with Xena.
I love that shirt. That's a cool shirt.
Yeah. So you can get all of my merchandise there along with Steven's merchandise, and now brand new as of today. Just launched today. 100% of the proceeds from this collection go to onemorechild.org, and what they do is they provide Christ-centered services to vulnerable children and struggling families. But yeah, definitely go over to katiez.com in the King store because Christ is King, and there's no denying that. 100% of the proceeds go to charity, and if you use discount code Christ is King 10, you can get 10% off. And it's got a Bible verse on the back, and there's several different designs. There's coffee mugs. If you don't want a t-shirt, get a coffee mug. They're the nice big 15-ounce ones too, so there's room for your cream and sugar.
That's right.
I
got to order a coffee mug. I ordered the shirts. I forgot to order a coffee mug, so I'll have to go back and order a coffee mug now.
Yeah, I'm going to order a shirt and a coffee mug too, I for sure. I think I'm going to get, I like this design best, I think.
That one there. That was a nice one. I like that one too.
Yeah, I really like the color.
Yeah, the color
scheming cool. And the font on the back. I like that one a lot.
And I'm serious, guys. If you guys buy some of these, post on social media. Post on our Twitter, and we'll share it out. Tag us, yeah. I would love to see your guys' in your guys' new shirts, and when I get mine, I'll definitely take some photos of mine and post them on there for you guys to see as well. And I'll probably wear a lot on streams.
Yeah. By the way, my Twitter, because I know there's a lot of Frank fans here tonight. My Twitter is It's Katie Z on Twitter, on X, whatever. Whatever it's called.
We had this whole discussion on Monday about Twitter and X and how it just sounds weird when you say, I stream on X.
I stream on X sounds dirty. It sounds like a dirty website. I don't like it. Thank you very much, Erica, for the last minute donation. Of course, over here on katiez.com, KTZ channel, anytime somebody donates or supports the channel at all, Xena, it is
Xena's out.
Xena gets a cookie. Let me wake her up for a second. Xena. She's like, what, huh? Just shake. There you go. She's such a good girl. That's my usual co-host. That's Frank here today, but my usual co-host is Zena. She doesn't do a lot of the heavy lifting, but she does bring in the big bucks. So
Yeah, thank you, Captain Ganja. Yeah, and Movie Dog. Movie Dog said he's out of here. He bought one of our merchandise. Things,
amazing.
so
Thank you so much. I appreciate that a lot. I'm very happy to be supporting this charity. There's several charities that I support. But this one is especially, I was looking into it today, actually. We were looking at several charities today. And the fact that they're not only helping vulnerable children, but it kind of ties into what we were just talking about, because some of the people that they help are also victims of sex trafficking.
yes, yeah,
So,
they help them get out of those situations
mhm.
and get them places that are safe.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
we
So,
had
yeah.
there's a lot. If you go to the website, they have lots of information and things like that where you can help. If beyond just buying a t-shirt, once we'll announce it when we donate it to them.
Yeah.
We'll set a time or whatever, and we'll do a stream together and talk about it again. But I think it's just a great cause that we can all contribute to.
Absolutely. Yeah, they seem like a great organization, and I know you had your people vet this.
Mhm.
But they're feeding hungry families. They're helping single parents as well as, this is the part that caught my eye, as well as struggling families, because
Yeah.
we like the whole family unit. So we don't want to just because there's a mom and a dad and children in the house, we don't want to not give to them if they need help, right?
Right.
So and a lot of these charities do that, by the way.
Yeah, and we get the foster child, and like you mentioned, trafficked children
Mhm.
and single moms and stuff. So there's a lot of great things that is happening there with that
Exactly.
organization.
Exactly. And here's some of their numbers here. So yeah, go to kdz.com and the collection, the King collection, the Christ is King t-shirts and mugs. 100% of the profits go to support this charity.
Yep.
And that's the show.
That is the show.
That is the show. I appreciate you coming on, Frank. I always love having you. I always love hanging out with you. We talk all the time, but not usually face to face like this. So it's fun to hang out for me.
Yeah, it is. It's awesome. We communicate a lot through our DMs and stuff
Yeah.
like that, and show ideas, and I'm sharing. I come across crime stuff and say, "Hey, Katie, you ever think about this?" I send it over to her.
Yeah.
And she's like, "I don't want to cover that. I'll talk about it later."
Don't do that.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
All right. So just so everybody in my chat, all of my people know, because they send me stuff too, and sometimes I don't want to cover. It's not just you guys. Like, I want to cover what I want to cover, but keep sending me stuff, because sometimes I get really good ideas too. But here's the thing, Frank. There's only so many abused kids I can talk about in 1 month.
Of
So if
course.
I've already talked about, like, it hurts my heart to talk about it. But also, I feel like if we don't talk about the evil in the world, people forget that there's evil out there, and we need to know where the evil is. It's coming from all directions, and we need to know about it, so we can protect ourselves and our families.
Mhm. For sure.
Anyway, we're gonna say goodbye. You can find Frank at youtube.com/letsbefrank38.
Yeah, there was 37 other Let's Be Frank. Now I'm the king of Let's Be Frank. So maybe I could contact that first Let's Be Frank guy and say, "Hey, man, can you give me the Let's Be Frank thing?"
Can I get that? Yeah. You can just search Let's Be Frank on
Yeah, and
YouTube. You're the one that comes up.
99% of the time, I'll be the top search on that, just because
Exactly.
of the amount of content I put out and stuff. You can also find me over on Uniquely Us if you're looking for something more geared toward family, faith, and God. I do Bible studies 4 days a week over there.
Chickens.
And yeah, I do lots of videos about chickens and harvesting things and sharing cooks things and our adventures sometimes that we go on. It's random conversations we'll have. That's all available over on Uniquely Us. So that's more of your speed. Go there and check it out.
I like the Uniquely Us channel personally. I like the chicken content. I really like the chicken content. I try to comment every time I see a chicken video. You could also find him at Let's Be Frank I forget the numbers on Twitter.
2410 on Twitter. Yeah. And I'm a little bit more unreserved on Twitter.
Yes, you are.
So my opinions are those what they are. They're just my opinions, and I get to spout them out over on X. I'm never disgusting or anything like that, but sometimes I'm very sharp with criticism sometimes. So
Twitter's the wild, wild west.
Yeah.
So you're allowed to be a little unhinged over there.
Yeah, that's how we interact over there. Nobody has conversations on Twitter.
No, people just yell past each other on Twitter. That's just how it is. Anyway, I will see all of you next week. Next week, normal time. This week, because tomorrow the Lord rose from the dead for all of our sins. So we're taking the day off tomorrow. So we're doing this tonight. But next week, normal time, Sunday at 4:30 Eastern. We will see you then. Thanks for coming, everybody. Bye, guys.
Bye, everyone.
I can't understand what you're saying. We're late stage in the catacombs. Shuffling a single card today. Broken table trying to play some ping pong. It's not subtle when we celebrate a magazine with the pages torn. My body cracks, knees buckling. I got a bad case of brain fog. Said I got a bad case of brain fog. So I'ma take my butt home. So I'ma take my butt home. Suffering, my mockingbird